topic given the time limits, on the topic which has already been just now presented before me, that is total development of children with special needs. Now special needs, just like ma'am before me was telling, she has already given you all the details about it, so I will not go deep into the details. But when it comes to special needs, we say that these children are gifted children. But how many of us really welcome such children in our schools? How many of us? We are very wary of it. We shy away from taking such children in our schools. So as per NEP, but NEP says that no, we need to take everybody on board. That is the aim of NEP, that nobody should be left behind. So why the special needs children? They also need to be on board. So now is the time for us as educators to know more about how to deal with such special children and their needs. So the term special needs is always used to describe an individual whose needs are no doubt special, they are different from the normal children. The major idea today is trying to distinguish, to identify such children, who these children are, so that accordingly we can help them out and bring them along with the other normal children. So children with special needs are those who have some type of disability. They may be by birth, they may come on later on in the stage due to some of the other incidences. So these children who do face some of the other disabilities, they are known as special needs children. Every child is a unique child. They may have different types of requirement because of their physical, mental, emotional or even behavioral requirements. Today many parents and of these children, the teachers, everybody is struggling to bring them in the stream along with the other children. With this, they are trying to create inclusive classrooms. Today we have inclusive classrooms wherein these children are also very much part of our own classrooms, and we as educators should know how to bring about change, development in these children. Now total development of a child, they have different areas, various areas. All these areas can be categorized into 4 broad areas, namely physical, sensory, developmental and behavior or emotional categories. Early intervention. Early intervention is very, very necessary. The earlier we get hold of the situation, the better for us all. The earlier we try to identify what exactly is the need of such a special child, we can work better and more on these type of children. We need to identify what exactly is the need of such a child, so that in order to maintain, if not maximize, let's at least maintain the level of the child's development, and after that we can work on the development of this child's needs. The 4 major areas of a child's development at this stage is physical development, social and emotional development, thinking, that is cognitive skills and mathematical abilities, and language development. All these skills are no different than all the other skills required for the normal children. But here we will be discussing about how to work it out in a different manner for these special children. Talking about the physical development, like earlier ma'am has already presented that some children by birth, they do not have some parts of their body, or some might be slow in their growth. So all children, they need to develop equally. But some children, because of their physical inactivity, we can say, they are unable to develop themselves in the same speed like the other children. So here they need our intervention as educators to help them to develop in the same manner, or if not in the same manner, at least somewhere near to the other children. Now these are few tips for developing physical skills in preschoolers, especially in the preschoolers. If you are dealing with special children, these are some takeaways for you. First, be very specific about the task that you need to give to the child. Give them very small tasks. Do not expect them to be able to do the same kind of work that the other children in your class will be able to do. Always try to go ahead with simple and specific tasks. Try to demonstrate it as much as possible so that the child can copy it and do it on his own later on. Emphasize the child's abilities. Every child, as we say, they are gifted children. So if they are a gifted child, they must be having some or the other unique quality. So focus on those unique quality to encourage the child to do better instead of focusing on his other negative qualities. Select skills that are functional for the child. For example, the functional things which becomes easier for the child. For example, dropping a ball will be much more easier for the child into a basket rather than aiming with an arrow on the wall or the target. So give him simple tasks to build up his or her confidence level. Provide children with more opportunities for practice. Just demonstrating it and allowing the child to do it only once is not enough. Such children need more and more practice to make sure that they understand it and learn the skills. The second one is about social and emotional development. Social and emotional development is very, very important for the children as much as the academic development. Here the children need to understand that they are also equal to the society. So we must always encourage them, try to build up on their self-esteem and ensure that the children do not go into negativity or frustration because of their disabilities. We have to be very, very careful about this. Now tips for the same to develop the emotional development as well as the social development in such kind of children. You should recognize the student's specific areas of strength. Like I said earlier, every child has some or the other important or areas of strength you can say and need. We need to teach them such moments and make them more stronger. Then again, you can teach the social skills the same way we teach them the academic skills. Slowly, gradually, in short steps, we can teach them the social skills also very easily and ensure that they always use it in their social settings too. We may find ways to build the student's self-concept and help them to achieve and sustain a level of appreciation and positive status among the peers. Once the child becomes confident, slowly and gradually he will start building his own appreciation among his peer group. Try to minimize competition. This is very, very dangerous for a child of special needs. Try to minimize competition maximum as much as possible. Try to give him group interactions or opportunities wherein the child can work and learn freely. Now, cognitive skills and abilities. These skills involves progressive building of learning skills such as attention, memory and thinking. These skills are very, very important for the child, equally just like the social skills, because the child is in a school setup, learning atmosphere. So we need to ensure that these crucial skills are also built upon at the same time. So here we need to give the child some comparison and understand the cause and effect of such situations wherein the child can excel himself. The tips for such kind of needs is you can sing along with the kids, especially when they are in the pre-primary or the prep years. Singing, just like many children, they have different skills or ways of learning, multiple intelligences. When we come to multiple intelligences, there are 8 different ways basically in which the child learns. Similarly, children with special needs also learn in different manners. So for some children, singing becomes easier to learn, so you can use this technique also. You can offer choices. If you offer choices to the child feels confident because he is allowed to choose how he or she wishes to learn. You can ask questions to the child on what he or she has learned to better understand their learning. You can take them on field trips. Field trips is always very interesting for all kind of kids, and for these children it's much more of a learning way. So you can always take them to the nearby museum, libraries and other places wherever the child can learn faster and better along with the hands-on experiences. Always try to use full sentences. Do not underestimate these children. They also understand what we are speaking. So we also need to give them time enough to speak fully what they want to explain to us. So please do be patient with them. Language development, again another important aspect for these children. They need to be identified as special needs. They have mainly characteristics similar to those identified in typical children. Even in our households, we find children, children. So these children are there even among the special needs children. These children may take longer to develop their speech, maybe by birth also they may be having some issues. So we need to identify them and recognize what exactly problems they are facing and try to help them out of this situation through many speech therapies and other activities. Now such tips for language development: acknowledge your child's communication attempt whenever the child is trying to speak, when is attempting to speak. Allow him or her to speak full sentences so that he or she can build up their confidence in speaking more faster and better, slowly and gradually. Do not ignore the child by hurrying up the child and answering instead of the child. Let the child answer. Let him or her take his or her time. Encourage children to tell you stories. Stories may not always be formal. It may be informal. It may be anything. Maybe a child's experience of what he or she has done in the morning or yesterday or whatever they have gone or visited some places. Allow them, listen to them, so that also helps in building up their communication skills. This is again another important one. You can use picture exchange communication system known as PEC cards. There is an app also of the same. This can be done by taking pictures which has a lot of interest for the child. You can keep these pictures around the child, and whenever the child finds any picture interesting enough for him to speak, he will surely pick up that picture and he will start speaking on those subjects or topics. This again helps him to improve on his communication skills. Remember that each child is an individual, they are an identity on their own. So their need is also special, and their diagnosis, you have to do it, and you have to understand how to develop the needs of the child. You have to tailor-make sometimes for the individual child according to his needs. You have to make your lesson plans accordingly, and for that you need to understand your child better. You need to understand the people. You need to communicate with the people who are around the child always. For example, his parents, his other teachers, as well as his counselors. So this will create a support network for you. No doubt, sometimes it is very challenging. Sometimes we feel very exhausted as to how exactly to move ahead and work with the development of some children. But believe me, it's never very difficult, especially when we are teachers. We know how to do our job very well, and we can always come out successful. So these were some very small tips for all of us. I believe it will be helpful to all, but always try to keep things as simple as possible. The more simple you make the things, the more faster special children learn. The more difficult you make it, it becomes more difficult for you yourself. So please try to keep things as simple as possible. With this, I end my presentation. Thank you. I hope I have time now, but I'll take a few minutes more, because I believe that we as teachers always call ourselves as nation builders. Right or wrong? We all are proud to say that yes, we are nation builders. But is it a very easy job? Is it a very easy job? No. It's the most difficult of all the jobs in the world, because we teachers create all the other jobs. So why not an ode, an anthem for the teachers? So I request the video to be please played. It is an anthem for all the teachers. So let's enjoy it and celebrate it. Thank you.
So I choose to be a teacher and a blessing, not a curse. Sing this song, remember I was jumping in my ride,
of the difference in my grade. Yeah, getting my class to spread the wings. Makes me wanna say oh yeah, 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 yeah. We can change the world together. Teachers, we can make it better. Yeah, it feels like it's been cold forever. I think it's time to change the weather. We can, we will, we must succeed. Children are the future, and the future's gaining speed. If you don't know the wind, then you gotta plant the seed. And if you go with your child, starts by giving them what they need. I'm singing this song to open up the eyes. Jump in my ride, gotta get there all right. I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a real teacher. I get the light sun, you can't spend my shine. These classes are all mine. I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher, I'm a real teacher. I'm a teacher. Yeah, yeah. You know, I think I'm working hard. I don't have that kind of space. We got all these excuses. We're not doing what it takes. You're thinking you don't have the power. Look me in the face. You have the kind of power that can change the human race. I'm singing this song, open up the